We are 10 days and about 6 hours into Iditarod 53. And if you're thinking at home, well, that seems a little bit longer than in years past. Well, that is because it is. The last 10-plus day finish was 1994 Martin Boozer, 10 days and 15 hours, and we're still a few hours away from our finish here in this year.
Yeah, certainly. And just looking at the distance of this year's race, it's kind of easy to see why. Now, if you go take a look back, 1,128 miles. That's one of the longest in Iditarod history, which started in Fairbanks last Monday.
Yeah, you go from Fairbanks to Nome, add a couple 100-mile loop in there, and pretty tough trail conditions, and then slower speeds and more rest on those hotter days, and that kind of explains where we're at today.
Certainly, and few know more about it than longtime race director Mark Norman, who explained a bit further about the conditions this year.
We saw this last time we ran on the Yukon. You know, people are thinking, well, it's just flat. It's a long way with that extra mileage for sure, but our trail breakers, how can you not? They're an amazing bunch of young men. Just the amount of work that they did this year to get them here, they're the unsung heroes. They're my heroes.
And, you know, it doesn't necessarily get easier, even though we're 90+% of the way through this race. It doesn't necessarily get easier, that last stretch on the sea ice.
Yeah, certainly not unpredictable for sure. Coming up in the late edition, we are getting even closer to crowning a champion in Iditarod 53. So stay tuned. More Iditarod coverage coming up throughout the night.
All right, thanks very much, Jordan. Tyler, the front few teams, well, they did separate themselves from the majority of the field a while back. And tonight, 3 Alaskans are now just 2 checkpoints or fewer out from the Burl Arch. Jesse Holmes leading by a couple hours. Now he's seen here arriving to the White Mountain checkpoint in footage from Iditarod Insider. He has now left White Mountain, though. Matt Hall in runner-up position and Paige Drobny sitting in third after arriving to that same checkpoint not too long ago.
Kind of confused. Oh, dog.
Hey, Matt.
Woo!
Welcome to
How we doing?
Doing fine.
And that is Matt Hall, again, sitting in second, also on his required 8-hour rest in White Mountain, where Holmes was a few hours into his rest by the time Hall arrived. Here's part of what Matt told Iditarod Insider about his rest at Elam when he arrived at the White Mountain checkpoint.
It was just a good time to give back to him. There was no, I was done chasing, couldn't catch him. There was a little bit of a buffer between me and Paige. So my camp out of Koyak, I took an extra hour from what I planned there. I took 4 instead of 3. And then I was like, you know, if I'm gonna bounce these guys back, like, you know, win by a minute, win by a mile, whatever that saying is. Like, it don't matter if he's 6 hours ahead of me or 6 minutes ahead of me, so why not just put it back into him? So, yeah, we stopped again and hung out for a while until Paige showed up, and I didn't let myself lay down until I made sure that she wasn't going through.
Got to take a look at the GPS tracker now. We're following along on the trail with our crew, of course, and Iditarod Insider, and on Iditarod.com. So again, Holmes has left the White Mountain checkpoint. As mentioned, Hall, Drobny, still there for right now.